It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's happening, everybody? It's another Monday night for the Sports Chasers Podcast, the fourth and short segment, the NFL segment, where we talk about all the things that went on with the NFL this past weekend, Super Wildcard Weekend. Looks like the Steelers are going to lose to the Bills. But hey, let's meet the crew real quick. Hey, before we do that, hey, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you also share the channel. Also on the podcast side, make sure you give us that five-star review on the podcast side. Love us or hate us, make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you make it do what it do. Want to welcome all those on the YouTube side, all those on the Instagram side. We're on Instagram right now. Shout out to all those that's watching on Instagram right now. Thank you. Appreciate you guys so much. Let's meet the crew real quick. If you haven't before, check us out. The DA. DA, what's up, bro? How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm warmer than Buffalo.
It's definitely warmer in Buffalo. I think it's 14 degrees there, but we'll talk about that here in a second. The Angry One, what's up, brother? How are you tonight?
What's going on? What's up, fellas? How y'all doing? Fourth and short. Let's get it.
Yep. D-Dub, the Matt, a.k.a. the Mad Hatter, a.k.a. D-Dubs. He's got on his lines.
What up? What up, fam? What's up? Shout out to the 313. I didn't believe, but
313.
I didn't believe, but
I guess stop all that slander right now. Stop that slander right now. Today.
I didn't believe, but
Mike Mills, what's up, man? How are you tonight, sir?
I'm chilling, man. No Packers hat, Lions hat.
It's in the mail.
Yeah, it's this guy. Yeah, yo.
Boy, Mr. Love is gonna be upset about that one. He said you should have had mine. Love got a receipt on your ass right now, boy.
Hey,
no doubt.
Hey, man, you gotta show and prove, man. They went and handle business.
No doubt, man. Hey, a lot to get into. The Angry One, what's up, brother? How are you?
Doing well once again.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you got me shell-shocked because I don't want to miss you, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, you be like, yo, what's up, man?
Yeah,
so
you know how you do, but yeah, you
got
on par.
You got him shook, E. Shook.
Hey, man, it's fourth and short for a reason. Let's go ahead. The DA has something. Go ahead, sir.
This should be a holiday every year because there are more Instagram and TikTok, I guess, videos that are funny as shit about these damn Cowboy fans. Man, I laughed all day. And
ain't nothing funnier than the actual game, though.
No. There was one where dude took off his stuff and burned it right then and there. I found that to be pretty amusing. So,
there was a lot of stuff tonight with the TikTok stuff going on. I thought it was hilarious, amazing. I thought it was funny. I thought it was great. We're gonna have to save Dallas for last though, because that's if we do it now, it's going to be we'll take up the whole show. So we don't want to do that. Let's go to Saturday's game. The Houston Texans defeated the Cleveland Browns 45-14. What happened to the Cleveland Browns defense? Where thou shalt go. Let's go to the AP. The AP, according to the AP, Houston, as the games get bigger, CJ Stroud just keeps getting better. The rookie became the youngest quarterback to win a playoff game after throwing for 274 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Houston Texans returned 2 interceptions by Joe Flacco for scores in a 45-14 rout of the Cleveland Browns in a wild card matchup Saturday. If you didn't see the game, hopefully you did watch the game. Man, there was some bad interceptions by Joe Flacco. Bad interceptions, man.
Neil O'Donnell.
Go ahead, DA. Neil O'Donnell. Go ahead.
Neil O'Donnell.
Got the bag, man. Flacco is about that bag. It don't matter if he got to pack bags to get the bag or cheat to get the bag or throw interceptions to get the bag. Joe Flacco about that money, man.
Mike, are you not going to speak up on your old quarterback? I mean,
I couldn't stand Flacco when he was here.
There you go.
So, but I think we talked a little earlier today, and though the world, except for the NSA and everybody else, wasn't listening to my conversation, but the truth is this, man. When you got time to prepare and you're only preparing for one team, sometimes those defenses are not as vaunted as you may think. That was a great defense. You can't take anything away from Cleveland. But the reality is that Houston had time to prepare just for them, because there is no next game if you lose that game. So that's all you think about from a preparation perspective. Is just how do we get them? And they found the chinks in their armor and they exploited them over and over and over. And then lastly, the quarterback out there in Houston is bad. He's a bad boy. And everybody, if they didn't notice when he almost took Ohio State to beating Georgia last year by himself, now you know. Now you know. He's a bad boy.
He's a bad dude. That is for sure. E, what you got on the Browns and the Houston Texans, man?
Boy, oh boy, the love of Joe Flacco. Yo, man, I have never. Well, I could probably go back in time and really dig up some stuff, but the way that game turned over the way it did with the momentum with them 2 picks was incredible, man. It took the air, the life, the soul, everything out of that Cleveland team. It was ridiculous. Shout out to the offensive coordinator for the Houston Texans. They obviously, like DA said, they had a game plan, well thought out, well executed. I don't even think Stroud got dirty yesterday. Saturday. So, shout out to them. And they got it done, man. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It was a good game leading up to them interceptions, though. So,
I'll just give you by the numbers here quickly. Flacco, he was 34 for 46, 307 yards, threw way too much. And I don't think they only ran Hunt 26 times, but they got behind and that was it. So they had to throw the ball, and especially with that first interception when he threw off his back foot, and I was like, oh no, don't throw it. And sure enough, he threw it, and there you go. That was all she wrote. CJ Stroud, he was 16 of 21, 274 yards, 3 TDs, 0 interceptions. Singletary, 13, ran the ball for 13 attempts, 66 yards, 1 TD. Man, shout out to the coach of the Houston Texans. I can't even say the Astros, man. What's his name? That's
Nico Ryans.
Nico Ryans, man. He's turned the culture around, and hey, everything's looking on and up for the Texans, man. So shout out to the Texans, man. D-Dub, your thoughts? Texans, Browns.
Yo, shout outs to Harris County, man. Yo. Hey, man. What can you say? Yo, CJ Stroud, is phenomenal. I didn't even think he was like that. Like DA, he watched closely. I didn't know. I had no idea he was like that. And this kid, he seems like a down-to-earth kid, 16 to 21, 274, 3 TDs. And like he said, man, yo, listen, this game was 24-14 at half. So Cleveland was still in it. But like you said, yo, those interceptions was like, it was killer interceptions. Pick 6.
Yep.
Start off, I mean, it got ugly after in the second half, and Cleveland scored no more, and that game was over third quarter. So Houston moves on. And like you said, these guys have been playing good football down the stretch, and there's something to that. When we see these guys, we seen these teams down the stretch playing very, very good football. So shout outs to them. Houston moves on. And I believe who they got up next? Is it Kansas City?
I'm not sure. I'll pull up to here for a minute.
Kansas City goes to Buffalo.
Kansas City goes to Buffalo, and they go to Houston goes to the winner.
Yeah.
Baltimore, right? Yeah.
Baltimore, be careful. Be careful. That's all I can say.
Okay, why are you saying Baltimore be careful? I mean, we'll preview the games on Thursday, but
why? What I'm saying is because we've seen this before, and this happens a lot. And I was talking to you guys earlier as far as like when these teams are off and bye weeks. And yes, you can't help being off on a bye week, but you had, I believe, the Ravens was off. They didn't play no players the last game, so they've been off for like 3 weeks, and it's hard to duplicate. We've seen teams, we've seen this in baseball. These guys are like, oh, we haven't played, and the rhythm, all that stuff matters. But we'll see. But I would just say, Baltimore, be careful. Do what you got to do at all costs, because this team is a very, very good team. So,
Mike Bristol says, shout out to all of those in the comments. Thank you so much. Mike Bristol says Baltimore versus Buffalo in the Super Bowl. Okay.
I don't know how that's going to happen, but
I mean, that can't happen, but I mean,
he might have meant the conference championship. That's what he meant.
Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive.
That's what he meant. Mills, your thoughts? The Browns. Let me just get there. Like I said, when I opened up, the Browns defense was supposed to be killer, stellar, and they've been at home, but it looks like they got the best of them, and they ain't have nothing for the Texans. Go ahead, Mills. What you got?
Houston had them boys on skates, rollerblading, backpedaling the whole time, and then Houston was getting pressure on Flacco. Flacco started making bad decisions. See, as a Baltimore fan, I'm used to this Flacco. You know, when he get hit once or twice and he start looking like Jimmy Clausen out there and start throwing picks. So, I mean, he was managing the game. Like, once he threw that first one, he still had a chance because, like, they had a nice little drive going and then bing, threw the next one. It was like, well, so shout out to Houston because they've been doing this all year, you know, winning close games. Well, they put it on some teams, too. Shout out to Miko Ryans because, like, normally a defensive coach don't get an offense like this. So he made a good hire. He did some good drafting, and he letting the people do what they're supposed to do on their side of the ball.
Yeah, I totally agree. Shout out to them. They absolutely did a wonderful job of controlling the ball, and like you said, and putting pressure on Flacco. He got happy feet back there, and he started throwing off that back foot. And some of them young boys can do that, but Flacco, nah, bro, you ain't supposed to be doing that, man. So, shout out to the Texans. They move on.
One more point.
Go ahead, bro.
Cleveland's running game, man. Kareem, nothing. Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt. You got nothing.
It's like they got Flacco and forgot how to run the ball.
Yeah, you absolutely got nothing from them boys, and that kind of that was another telltale of the demise of Cleveland. And I don't know. So you after this you lose. Now they have to see what they got, retool, and you still got a $256 million quarterback in.
That's a wash. Ain't nothing they can do about that. So.
You're right.
Yeah, I got you.
And they also have to see if their running back is going to come back
healthy
the way that he was before the injury.
Not next year, year after. It takes usually 2 years to recover from that, especially if you're a running back, if your name's not Adrian Peterson. So it's going to take a little time to get back and feel right from that, especially when you're like a bell cow kind of running back that gets 25, 30 carries a game and used to that. I mean, he'll be back because he's a bad boy, but I think it's not going to be just yet. So they're going to keep another running back. They may get rid of Kareem, but like everyone else that loses now, there's a lot of rebuilding to do. There's a whole bunch of stuff you have to look in the mirror as a team to see what we can do. Flacco is definitely not there to be, what's going to happen next year. He was there as a stopgap, and he did a great job in a lot of the games he played. So, but yeah, it's, D'Amico Ryans knows how to stop the run. So if nothing else, he was saying, okay, Flacco, you beat us because we think we can cover Amari and we can do this and we can do that. We'll let you do it, but we can't let you run and throw the ball. Right?
So they pick their poison. Yeah, you're right. So that's a fact. Let's move on to the Saturday night game. The Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City, Missouri, defeated the Miami Dolphins 26-7. From the AP, it was so cold that Patrick Mahomes' helmet shattered on a hit, and Andy Reid's mustache froze on the sidelines. Fans and players alike huddled for warmth, trying their best to grit their way through the fourth coldest game in NFL history. The Kansas City Chiefs managed to handle the adversity well Saturday, and the Miami Dolphins quite well too. Mahomes threw for 262 yards and found Rashee Rice 8 times for 130 yards and a touchdown, and maybe several daring runs for a key first down. This game right here was a winnable game. I mean, shout out to the Chiefs. Let me just give to the numbers. Mahomes was 23 of 41, 262 yards, 1 TD. Pacheco, 24 of 89 on rushing. And, Kansas City, I know in several years past we have dogged the Kansas City, but their defense is young. and the defense played pretty well this year. Shout out to my main man. He was our defensive coordinator. He's not much of a good head coach, but Spags. He did a I can't think of his first name right now, but he did a
Steve Spagnuolo.
Steve, yeah, he did a great job of scheming for the Dolphins and making sure that they played a whole lot of zone on Hill. Hill couldn't really get off, and Tua, or they pretty much captured Tua to his little box. I'll give it to Mike Mills. Mills, what's your thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs and Miami Dolphins?
It was too cold for them boys all the way around. They ain't know what to do. And the Chiefs defense look good all year, and it's looking better. Mahomes found somebody other than Kelsey with some hands. He need to keep throwing the ball there because you can't spread it around to the rest of them. You're just gonna have to keep throwing the ball there, throwing it to Kelsey, and hitting Pacheco on the check down because their offense is not up to par like it's been in recent years. So shout out to them. They handled Miami. We all knew Miami couldn't beat good teams. They got lucky against the Cowboys, but the Cowboys are the Cowboys, and we'll get to them later. So, Miami, welcome to the couch.
Welcome to the couch, the Dolphins. D-Dub, your thoughts, Dolphins and Chiefs.
Dog, I got no thoughts because I refuse to watch the game. You put it on some fucking Peacock. I'll catch it on. I'll call it. I read the highlights and did the highlights, but I seen the highlights and Miami was super soft. They don't tackle. They scared to tackle Mahomes. From the clips that I seen one guy who is number 45. If we could get that, who is number 45 on the Miami Dolphins?
We'll bring it up.
There's a clip of this guy letting Mahomes just walk or run right past him, and he did some like two-hand touch shit. Like he didn't want to tackle.
It was cold. It was cold. It
was cold for everybody,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and I get you. And Mahomes challenged his guys. He said, "Yeah, it's cold outside," but he said, "I mentally challenge you guys." And yeah, that's one of the things that they had to overcome, like you said. So, let's not make Mahomes look like he's some super human quarterback. I'm not saying that he's some philosopher or nothing like that, but
right. And I'm not hating on Mahomes, and I just don't really, don't care for the guy. And I think I've been documented, but at least one of y'all know that I'm not really fond of the guy. But the guy's a good quarterback. But Chiefs did what they did. I picked the Chiefs to win. Miami ain't that team. They are a super soft team, and they was gonna get got somewhere down the line. It wasn't, it's just they don't have it. I don't know if it's the coach. People they love to blame Tua. The people want Tua out of here right immediately. I don't know if that's the answer. I don't know, but they
want to trade Tua for Justin Fields.
It's ridiculous. Come on, Kevin. That shit is ridiculous, man. That's just ridiculous, right? But I'm not going to even answer that one. But yeah, Miami got a lot of I don't want to say it's the weather with these guys. The team is not set up right. They got Tyreek Hill. They
boxed Tyreek Hill in. I mean, he got off with that one score.
Yeah, that one. But the rest of the time, whoever was on him,
they boxed him up.
City, yeah,
listen, I say this, man. I just think Kansas City was a better team. I'll leave it at that. Right? Miami had a lot of injuries, but you can't really, Waddle's hurt, like 5 guys on the defense. Yeah. But I still think that the reality is in that weather, and that's why home field means something, because in that weather, a team from Florida that's not used to practicing in that and being in that all the time may not do as well. But no one's used to practicing in that type of weather.
No.
It was just that, some of the heart didn't come out in guys, I guess would be the best way to say it during the game. But Miami will be back. They're not a bad team. They are still relatively young in their development process. And I think next year they'll get better. They'll start to shore up some other places on the field, and do some things. They see what they did right, where they did wrong. So I do believe one thing is that this is a definite preface to one team maybe coming down one side of the mountain, the other team going up one side. It's just not there where people can see it today. But that's the way it looks to me, because I don't think Kansas City is as good as they were. I don't care how far they go.
That's a fact.
I don't think they are as good as they were, but sometimes experience matters. And
yes.
But it's fine. It's not a bad thing. Everybody can't win. So everybody can't win. And Tua does not have to be that guy to win a Super Bowl, because there have been more Super Bowls won by average quarterbacks than Super Bowls won by stars. Just so you know.
Okay. The angry one, what you got?
I'll just keep this short and sweet, man. Kansas City was a better team. That's why it was unanimous that they was going to do what they did. And Miami, look, everybody's hurt this time of year. It was a bad draw with the snow and everything. Yeah, but these are the playoffs, man. There's no excuses. You go out there with what you got, and they didn't have enough. I agree with DA. I think Miami is a good team. The only thing is, usually when you get into the playoffs, the following year you play all those playoff teams, and we know based off of this year that they had issues with good teams. So we'll see. It'll be a test for them next year, but it was a good season for them. Yeah, and that's it, man. I will say the number one word for this game is confidence. Confidence and experience. Kansas City had it and Miami didn't. Case closed.
I'll say this also. The Dolphins, had they handled business against the game against Buffalo, they playing in warm 80 degrees. It's 80 degrees down in South Florida. They got
beat.
Huh?
Still got beat, but good.
I just think home field means, out of all the four major sports, I think home field is means the most in football. And had they won and took care of business, I think I don't know how what the breakdown would have been, but
they'd have beat the Steelers.
Yeah, they would have beat the Steelers. Yeah, I think they would have beat the Steelers. So
But that goes with not handling your business. You should have handled your business at home against Buffalo, where you was a good team all year at home, and you lost to Buffalo. So there you have it.
Yep.
Handle your business.
Handle your business, man. Let's move on to the Saturday night. This feel-good story keeps on getting better and better. The Detroit Lions, after 33 years, man, they won a playoff game in Detroit. They beat the LA Rams 24-23. Let me read this from the AP. Jared Goff lifted his arms in the air, encouraging Ford Field fans to get even louder before taking the final snap to end this long-suffering franchise skid in the playoffs. The crowd delivered, approaching a decibel level of siren. Detroit played a good game. LA could have beat Detroit had they scored at least one touchdown when they was in the red zone those few times, and they didn't. And that was, to me, that was the game right there. Jared Goff, he was 22 of 27, 277 yards, 1 TD. Montgomery Jazz rushed for 14 of 57. Let me see here. Stafford was 25 of 36, 367 yards, 2 TDs. There was no turnovers in this game, which was amazing. Good football played on both teams, and like I said, I think the difference was Detroit's defense was good, and hey, we'll see. I'll start off with D-Dub. Your thoughts?
This was an absolutely fantastic game. I thought this was a good game.
Yeah.
I picked the Rams to win. I thought the Rams was playing hot and is playing good coming in down the stretch of the season. So Jared Goff, man, he's now Detroit loves him now, man. Even though he hasn't won nothing yet, but he's won. That was the first win since 92, 91?
91 playoff game. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we talking since Barry Sanders was drafted in 88? I think he was 3 years in. So I mean, kudos to the Detroit Lions. They played a heck of a game. What's my the running back? I mean, they was running the ball. But the second half, I believe the second half, they just slowed up. I don't know. I think the Rams defense, started, tightening it up.
Right.
And Stafford played great. Stafford played good too. I mean, I can't, a lot of people try to, in front. He was what, 25 or 36, 367.
A lot of attempts though. 36 is a lot, man.
Yeah, but hey man, they got a heck of a 2-man team with that. What's my man name? The wide receiver. Can't keep on missing his name. Keep on missing.
I'm on St. Brown. Yes.
No. For the Rams.
Puka.
Nakua.
Yes. Nakua. Yes.
That dude, man. I mean, that dude don't miss. Now, you want to say that was a pass interference on that? Stuff happens, man. Referees ain't perfect. We miss stuff. They miss stuff. It is what it is, man. But kudos to them. And Detroit moves on. Rams is not that far away. If they,
it's a wrap.
Tinker.
It's a wrap.
You think it's a wrap, D?
It's a wrap. It's over.
This was their last. You think this is their last gasp from that Super Bowl team? I think McVay did a very well coaching job, especially in the second half, man.
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't say a close comment like that and don't elaborate. Go ahead.
Well, the second half of the season, they played a lot of teams that didn't have anything to play for. So they won a lot of games against teams that were already in the playoffs. That's one. Part two is they still haven't committed to running the ball. And you're not going to win unless you run the ball. The defense is not what it was. You still got Donald up front. You can't name a linebacker or anyone in the secondary anymore.
Nah, you can't.
They're not that good.
No.
So what happened yesterday was the fact that, the coach and the Lions committed to being a balanced team. They weren't looking to blow nobody out. They wanted to keep the ball and score. The one thing that's hurt Stafford his whole career, and since we're in an offensive-minded league, say his name again? I don't want to mess up the dude's name for the Rams. The wide receiver.
Nakua.
Yeah.
Stafford has always had the habit of, if he has a hot receiver, he throws it to them exclusively, regardless of what else he has on the team. So he went to him too many times, especially in the red zone, where everybody had like 8 guys on him. Didn't even hand the ball up, didn't audible, didn't do anything, right? My thing is the rest of the guys get paid as well. You got to try. You got to try to spread the ball out to everyone, and that's the way you win. And so he went to the kid a lot. That kid probably broke every rookie record for receptions and yards and everything else this year, but that's because Stafford gets myopic. When he sees one thing, he stays right there. He doesn't try to do anything else, doesn't hand off, doesn't do anything different. And that's what he did. Now, as far as them coming back, I don't know, because I don't know what McVay's going to do. Because you hear things every week. He's tired of this. He doesn't want to do that. It takes a lot to rebuild a team. And keep in mind, fellas, the year that team won the Super Bowl, they went all in all year. In the middle of the season, they gave away draft picks and players to get Von Miller. They don't have much to give away to get anything. So, and them making the playoffs this year was probably a curse. They probably wanted to come in fourth to last so they could get a good player. But making the playoffs means you're in the middle of the pack and you're probably going to get a good player if they even have a pick left. Because remember, Von Miller was a lot, and the kid that plays for Miami now, that was a DB, he was a lot. All those dudes cost picks in the future. So when you mortgage the future, this is what you get.
Oh, but they won a Super Bowl, though.
Yes, they did. Man, what did that do for me today? Nothing. So it's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
So if the DA was the general manager, what philosophy would you take? You got 30 seconds. Would you take this philosophy, or would you do?
It's. I was saying 30 seconds. It's hard to say because you got the Super Bowl,
right?
So if that was their philosophy, and I know why, right? You just got a new stadium. You got to pack it out. You're brand new moving in there. So what do? You go all in and win the Super Bowl, and they did. So they did the right thing. They did the right thing. Now it's up to the Chargers, I guess, to maybe the rest of the decade, maybe win something to keep that stadium solvent.
Or move back to San Diego like how they rightfully should do.
They're not. But the reality is, in the $1 billion stadium that, they did what they needed to do, right? Because we always say from a financial business side, winning the Super Bowl gives you 10 years of money. So they're okay. They're okay.
And not having a quarterback will give you 10 years of losing. Ain't that right, D-Dog? We got 10-year clauses up here.
10 years, bro. 10 years of you mess up on that quarterback. It's a wrap. You're gonna be
shout out to the city of Detroit, man. Because they've been living through some misery. You know, the Tigers ain't been worth nothing. God knows the Pistons are awful. God awful. Who else? Baseball, football, hockey.
That's all they had is been Detroit, the Pistons. That's about it. Since I've been alive.
Yeah, Red Wings haven't won since the 90s.
The Red Wings, yeah.
So you know when they had the Steve Eisenman scene, but shout out to the Lions, man. It's a feel good story, man. Angry One, what you got on the Lions and LA Rams?
Well, just real quick, just to piggyback off of what has already been said, man. This was probably the best game of the weekend thus far. And rightfully so. I guess Detroit got there, Golf got there just due, winning this quarterback Super Bowl saga or whatever, even though the Rams did win the ultimate goal with the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Man, I was really expecting, that Mike Mills philosophy. I was expecting Jared Stafford and company to throw interceptions all over the place, but it didn't happen, man. It was a very, very well played game. And say what you want about the Rams, had they turned these field goals into touchdowns, this would be a different story. But hey, shout out to Detroit. They did what they had to do at home. So, and I think the Rams, it all depends on Stafford. Are you gonna get a 100% Cooper Kupp next year? Nakua, is he going to have the second year jitters? It's a lot, man. Is Stafford going to maintain this level of play through another season? You just don't never know, man. But it was a good year for both. Detroit keeps moving. That's all I got.
Yep. Mills, what you got on this game? And then we'll move on to our last game.
I mean, the Stafford Brothers Bowl was the best game of the weekend. Because my theory, they're the same person to me. They do the same things. But I will say right now, I like how they developing him in the second wing of his career. Because he's not doing what he used to do. Like DA said, that staring one man down thing, that was his thing too. Because they wasn't giving him that many throws in when he was in with the Rams. They was giving him the read, take the first one. That's it. Underneath him not. But, spreading the ball around in Detroit, everybody getting a touch, the running backs, Shout out to the Rams. I think their defense really overplayed considering the pieces they have because they don't have any draft picks. Like, they did get that one good D lineman. I can't remember his name off top. But they did get him. And then, like you said, the rest of their back end is no names. So, it really depends on Stafford if he comes back next year. But shout out to the Lions. I did pick the Lions to win because I feel like Dan Campbell might be coach of the year. If he'd have got that playoff in Dallas, if it wasn't for that penalty, hands down, coach of the year to me. But he doing a good job out there in Detroit. And let's see what happens next week.
Yeah, definitely shout out Dan Campbell.
Yeah, even when last year when the Lions, that last game they played against Green Bay and kept Green Bay out the playoffs, Aaron Rodgers and them, how he had them playing hard even to the last game, shout out to him. Dan Campbell has done an excellent, awesome job. Just wanted to real quick, thanks to all those watching on the Instagram side, to all those that have never seen the podcast. You just saw the clip. Shout out to our live feed on Instagram. Thank you. This is our first time live streaming on Instagram. So we'll be live streaming on Instagram for the rest of the time. Shout out to all those in the comments. Appreciate y'all. Hey, last but not least, we say the best for last, boy. Listen, I've seen so many. I've seen so many TikToks, so many Instagram reels, Facebook, people burning jerseys of the emotions. Is shout out to my main man Corey Davis. He's got Dallas Cowboys for life, man. Corey, did you make a TikTok? You burning the jersey or something like that? Man, it was so funny. Oh, Jimmy Johnson at the half acting like he was still coaching. I don't know if y'all saw that one. Michael Irvin this morning just like he wanted to be. It looks like he needed to be committed. He was so mad. It was just.
Yeah,
I love it. Let me read from the AP. The Dallas Cowboys. Y'all know the score. The Green Bay Packers 48. The Dallas Cowboys 32. According to the AP, Aaron Jones grew up idolizing Emmitt Smith, and the Dallas Cowboys, the Green Bay running back, found a new and most painful way to terminate the all-time rushing leader's former team. Jones ran for 3 touchdowns. Jordan Love threw for 3 more in his postseason debut. Darnell Savage returned an interception 64 yards for a score, and the Packers handed the Cowboys their first home loss since the 2022 home opener in a 48-32 wild card stunner Sunday. Boy, I didn't expect this. I actually picked the Cowboys. I really did. I said the Cowboys should handle business. Them to me, and me and some of the guys have talked about this off the air, how the Cowboys and the Dolphins are kind of similar, right? They're good. D-Dub, what's that term used? They're very good remote from home.
Work from home teams, Miami and the Cowboys.
So it was all
I guess
set.
the internet must have been out because it didn't look good.
It had to be an office day. I guess they hybrid teams too, because this was an office day. They went to that office that they asked for, jumped at the door.
They're not a good play from behind team. They're not built to play from behind.
Oh no,
they're not. So
Oh no, I think it was key, and I pass it up to Eric first. I think it was key when Green Bay got the toss first. When they won the toss, and they say, "Yo, let me get the ball." They went down, they marched down, they scored, got the ball again, scored again, and like you said, Da, they Dallas is like the bully on the block. They're very good of getting the high because you see how they did the Giants this year. That was it. Once they scored like 21 points, that was it. When they just roughhouse the Giants, and they're not, like Da said, they're not a very good come from behind team. Your thoughts on America's team? And listen, shout out to Green Bay, shout out to the coach, shout out to Jordan Love. They need to get some love, no pun intended. Jordan Love sat behind Rodgers for the last 3 years, and he's put in the work, and a lot of people didn't think that he would be able to get it done. Man, he's gotten it done, man. And shout out to Green Bay and their coach for the second half, and they made the playoffs, and they made a lot of doubters believers. So shout out to them. I'll pass it on to E. What you got, E?
Yo, man, like I said in the Kansas City game, this wasn't about it. Well, you can't say experience because Dallas hasn't done shit, and I don't know how long in the playoffs. Green Bay, obviously, they know something about being in the playoffs, even though the quarterback, this is his first go round. Yo, man, this is a team that came in with a game plan. Anybody that watches football know how the Cowboys, their MO. They score first, and they let the hounds come out after the opposing quarterback. When you're able to run the ball, and Dallas has not been able to contain teams who run the ball, this is what you get. We didn't expect a 27-7 ass whooping at the half. However, this is what you get. Dallas looked unprepared. They looked like they just came to the stadium with the star on their helmet, and that was it. They came in thinking that Green Bay was just going to lay down, just expecting to just be there, be happy to be there. And Mike McCarthy, I don't know how you have a job, bro. I don't wish for nobody to get their jobs terminated, but you need to go. And Jerry Jones, I'm not a Cowboy fan at the stretch of my imagination. However, as a football fan, you need to hire some people, some football minds, and get the fuck out of the way. But shout out to Jordan Love. Shout out to Mr. Romeo Dobbs, who had 6 big catches for $151. I know Dallas cornerbacks. I know the ones that's on IR. They probably are happy to be on IR because he's going to give them boys nightmares for this whole offseason. But this is what you get, man. Dallas is a big old mess, a big old pot of gumbo mess. That's it.
Eric, you said something about Jerry Jones. Let me just share his comments. He said, "Hold on one second, guys. Let's go to the tape." My producer, he's off tonight, so let's go to the tape of Jerry after the loss, this devastating loss.
I guess we got Dallas's IT guys working tonight.
Oh yeah. Hold on 1 second.
I certainly, in no way, have spent any of my time for answers for how and why we didn't do what we wanted tonight. I say this to our fans, how much you deserve us to not have this ending. I certainly, in no way, have spent any of my time over the last 3 hours asking how and why. What I'm zeroed in on is the fact that I thought we were in a position, everybody in this room thought we were in a position to advance this thing in the playoffs and maybe get as far as our dreams might take us. We didn't do it.
So that was Jerry Jones.
He didn't say anything. I'm not.
He said a lot of something.
Go ahead. He didn't say a damn thing. I've been saying for 20 years. Man, listen, I'm old. I was trying to win this year. Might not make it the next year. Goddamn. That's all he said. It paraphrased. That's what he said.
That's exactly what I heard, DA.
There's no way for him to. Yeah, there's no way for it.
I'm trying to win before my demise.
And I should have kept Jimmy ass here.
And I wish I would have kept Jimmy here. We put him in a ring of honor, but he should have been a coach just like Belichick. And now I'm going to have to make this call to a 71-year-old coach and ask him between him and Saban, can you please help me build a team?
Saban's not coming out of retired. Saban wants.
I'm just saying, in his head, in Jerry Jones's head, he is saying in his head, before my demise, guys, listen, he needs to hire somebody that's going to bring him a chip immediately because he sees there's talent on this team, even though Dak needs to see an eye doctor because he's throwing to the wrong team. Again,
you can't put this on Dak, though.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Hold on now. I absolutely can't put it on Dak. Dak had I'm not saying it's all his fault, but he has something to do with that. Kev, come on. We cannot. We're gonna be objective here. We gotta say, hey, looking at it clearly, he did. He was 41-60. He did not have a great game. He looked kind of scared. And when Green Bay scored that first touchdown, they panned the camera to Dak, and his face looked different. Now, I could be reading too much into it, but he didn't look the same. However,
if I may,
rebut.
I think no, I'm not. Yeah, I ain't got no problem with that dude.
Okay.
My thing is this, man. The thing with Dak is once he got behind, right? Because like I said, they're not a come from behind team.
No,
he's never been good at that. So once they got down, that pressure just like all jumped on his shoulders all at once. My thing is, and I'm not saying I disagree totally. I think the quarterback always has something to do with it because they're getting all the money. The first interception, dude from Butler, Zaire, that was a great interception.
Great. I mean, he came over top from the back.
The second one, it was zone. He got caught out there, and it was a pick six.
Savage.
But I think the reality for me is this, man. What's his name? They talk so much about the defensive coordinator at Dallas and the defensive, and that defense was straight trash, man. They got ran up and down on. They got destroyed.
They did.
And there's nothing the offense can do if the defense keeps giving up touchdowns.
Well, no, if they keep on giving up 9.3 average yards per carry, yeah, that is not good. So Aaron Jones looked like a whole different person.
But it goes back to my point that, and we talked about this earlier, like, coaching matters, man. Dudes know how to beat Dallas. You run at Micah Parsons. Put a period, ... and go to the next page. Because that's what happens. You run at the kid, and they got nobody to stop it.
Well, shout outs to Buffalo and I believe
San Francisco,
Arizona,
run at Micah Parsons, man.
That was the blueprint.
It works. I've been saying it worked. And I'm the one that said when he was in college that Micah Parsons was a dog. But what happens is you let the tail wag the dog, and people start to tell you that this kid is the next Lawrence Taylor, and that the dog, just relax, pump the brakes. Yeah. Right? They put a dude to be outside linebacker where he can run and get the quarterback, but that's not what he did in college. He played real live linebacker in college. Stopping the run and the pass. He doesn't do that anymore, to his and the team's detriment. But I don't like Dallas anyway, so it's all good for me.
Gotcha. Mills, your thoughts? Dallas.
Yeah. If Cleveland was backpedaling, Dallas got caught with their skirt down, boy. They just blown coverages, dumb interceptions, and they missed the running back killer down 14 points, want to run the ball, and it's not working. Running back killer. It don't work like that.
Mike McCarthy.
Down 14 and you want to run the ball now, you want to prove a point, boy. And people say that people are tough on Dak. They say I'm tough on Dak. Like, I had a conversation with some guys last night. One thing with Dak is he's too good for the ass shit he do. Like when he's protecting the ball and he making his reads, he's great. But when he start doing that Tony Romo gunslinger shit and running out the pocket, that's when it's no good. He do dumb stuff. Couple of them throws to the tight end that they caught. You throwing triple and double coverage, you already down. Yeah, your numbers look good because you threw the ball 60 times, but you already in the hole. You already threw those picks. You already turned over the ball. So was it all Dak's fault? No. Was it all the defense fault? No. They equal had a share of the blame. This is not how you come prepared for the playoffs. And you won your division because you was hot. Y'all was hot. The Eagles started faltering. Y'all ended up winning the division. You can't go out like this after you won your division. Dak talking about McCarthy on the hot seat. I'm on the hot seat too. Well, y'all deserve each other. Just go down together. Maybe y'all find a job somewhere else. Because it's just, I don't think McCarthy is the coach for them. I never did. I still don't.
Well, let me ask you that, and I got Corey Davis in the comments there. Okay, if Dallas decides to part ways with Mike McCarthy, and who do they go? I mean, like I said earlier, I don't think Belichick is going to coach that team. I don't think he wants nothing to do with that. And I don't know. I mean, and then with Dak's contract situation, are you gonna make him the highest paid?
No, he's gonna stay where he's at because he ain't win. He actually makes it easy for you. That's a self-correcting problem, right? He can't ask for nothing based upon the result. He got money based on the regular season, got a nice big contract, but he can't ask for anything new because he hasn't moved the team another step forward.
Right.
As far as a head coaching job, it's going to have to be someone that can outlive the owner, because you have to get the situation where you're able to coach without looking over your shoulders at the press box and running plays for this or doing that. That's, you have to get a coach, and the old dudes are not there. They got the cachet to do it. They ain't got the time.
They ain't got the time. I don't think some of them have the patience. I mean, look at Parcells. Parcells moved the Cowboys, and then they got to that philosopher, and then Parcells like, "Yeah, I'm out, man. I can't do this no more." I tried.
So you don't see a dude from Seattle. He's 71 years old.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah. Belichick is like, why? I'm already going down as the best. Like, why? What? This doesn't help my legacy. Winning a Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys does not help your legacy, man. This is not 77 with Randy White and Ed Too Tall Jones, man.
Do you think Dallas is close, though?
Who, what?
Do you think Dallas is close, though?
It was in the playoffs. Yeah.
Well,
closer than at least 20 other teams.
No, I mean, I got you.
I mean,
I got you on that. I'm saying closer to winning the Super Bowl.
I don't believe in that, man. The reason I don't believe in that, because we watch in the NFL a team that won't be there one year and the next year they're, at least closer.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, because injuries play a big role and all of those things. But the reality is, man, I don't think so, because the offensive line is old, right? So the offensive line that we talked about was always their number one thing. So next year, the tackle's gone, right? They had to pay Zach Martin to come back this year. You didn't want to. Zach had quit beginning of this year.
Zach was on the couch.
Yeah, he was done. So they got to get a new offensive line.
Yeah.
Right? Their wide receivers are fine. Quarterback's fine. I think they made a mistake with Zeke. Because, yes, Pollard is a quick, fast dude, but there is something to be said for bludgeoning people every down. You know, what did my man Marshawn say? When you come to their face over and over, that's what Zeke does. Pollard runs outside. And I know from playing, I would rather you run outside than run at me.
Yeah.
So
Mike Bristol said prime time to Dallas.
Hold on, Kev. Before you get listen, man, I don't know what we're talking about, man. The Cowboys are not good. And this is 2024. What are we talking about? 2023. We said the same thing. 22, 21.
We've been saying
20,
since 97, man.
19,
so,
2018.
I mean, they get the same results every year.
Every year it's the same. It's the same thing, right? We had what's my other quarterback wide receiver name before CeeDee Lamb? Good gracious.
Amari Cooper?
Amari Cooper, but after him, the other 88.
You talking about
oh my god.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm talking about.
Dez
Bryant.
Yeah.
You had Dez Bryant. Yo, probably I don't know what else to say. This might be the Cowboys' time to lose and keep losing. Maybe they're picking up Detroit's trait. I don't know, but they have had teams to win. They messed around and went away from the run game. Again, they got what's his name? You just said his name. He's the running back. He's light in the ass. He can't sustain running the ball like that.
Tony Pollard.
That's
Tony Pollard. Thank you.
That's a team building thing, man. The team is built the wrong way.
Oh, bro.
Hey,
yeah, we got it. We understand that, and it is what it is. They building wrong, and it is what it is. But not only are they building wrong, but they make wrong decisions when they have it, because we've seen the times when they're supposed to run the ball, and they kept on passing the ball with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott I think these guys are delusional. They want Dak Prescott to be this MVP guy, and he's not that. He's a good guy. He's good, but he's not it. Let's just be real. Go ahead.
This is a Dallas thing, because if we can go back years before Mr. Dak Prescott, we had a Tony Romo, and they ran the ball. They had an offensive line and everything. What did they do in the playoffs? They wanted to throw the ball. They wanted Tony Romo to be the shining star, and all he did was crash and burn. So this is a Dallas thing. It's not a personnel thing. It is a Dallas thing. I don't know what that is organizational wise. They do what they can do to get to the. They do what they do. They get to the playoffs and they stink. They sound like the Knicks. Do you want to be mediocre or do you want to be great? That is the question.
So they make the playoffs and that's it. Let
me ask.
I say new head coach.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
A new head coach, somebody young, somebody fresh. Stop rehashing.
Yes, I'm with you, Mike.
Stop rehashing. Go get one of these young coordinators and give a shot.
If you get that, but you got to make sure you stay the course with them, because this is what Dallas had.
Outlive Jerry. You get somebody young to outlive Jerry. Yep. When he take his step back, his inevitable step back, because that's what they do, and then there you go.
Yeah. Go ahead, DA. What you say?
I don't think, like I said, man, I think the Dallas Cowboys are another case of the tail wagging the dog, man. They take on the personality of their fan base. So they win the Super Bowl in August every year. And what happens is, as that
last time I checked, the Super Bowl is not in August, right?
But you got to think about it. As it plays out, you're talking about a team that gets the lion's share of the TV coverage, win, lose, or draw. They're always up front. Everybody's always talking about them. And, again, so the team takes on that. So they always think they're the smartest person in the room. So when they have a good running attack, we'll trick them. We'll pass now. Or they good passing. We'll run it now. They always think they are going to out trick someone rather than just stay the course of their own personality, which they don't have, because their personality is the personality of the fans. And there are a million fans, so every week the fans think something different. They feel something different.
Well, that's because they'll win from week 1 to week 8. They'll have a hiccup, and then they start winning again, and they got a nice little record, and then they crash and burn. This has been going on for what?
The
20-some years.
The ownership shouldn't listen to the fans because every team wins games and then loses some games and then gets back on track. Injuries are a part of football. This is what happens. You just have to stay where you at. And if your philosophy helps you win, then that's what it is. And if it doesn't, then change your philosophy. Got to change your philosophy. And I think that's their problem, is that they change philosophy.
Well, that probably won't change unless, and Cowboy fans, y'all can get at me, unless the owner doesn't change, and he's not going to change. He's been the same. You know what this reminds me? Absolutely, reminds me of the Yankees in the late '80s. I mean, early '90s when Steinbrenner was suspended. Steinbrenner had won a couple of championships with the Yankees, and then he just really started meddling. He fired coaches, fired managers, and hired Billy Martin like 8 times, and it was just a mess. And until he got suspended and had to step away from baseball, and Gene Michael and Bob Watson and all them cats, they reinvented the Yankees and turned the Yankees into perennial winners from the late '90s into the early 2000s. Go ahead, D-Dub.
One other thing, the Cowboys, how many coaches, the carousel of coaches that we went through with Cowboys? This is McCarthy era. We done went through the champ. Well, no, hold on. Who is this? Who's the next one? Wade Phillips and Jason Garrett years. That was from 2007 to 2019. We had the Bill Parcells era, 2003, 2006. Chan Gilly and what was his name? Campo, 1998 to 2002. How many coaches? You say get a young coach, Mike? All right.
Well, there's a few. Ownership, though. Ownership got to hire them, man. It's just not a stable. All because they're on TV all the time does not mean they're a good organization.
Nope, they're just good. They're just good. Must see and reality TV.
Basically, yeah.
A train wreck.
It's a train wreck.
As you can see from all the social media posts with people burning jerseys and the memes and stuff like that, it was definitely out of control, man. So let me move on to the last game. This game that just finished up here a few minutes ago. The Buffalo Bills defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 31-17. This game was supposed to be played on yesterday, but due to the state of emergency in New York, up western New York, they moved the game to 4:30 today. Go ahead, DA. You said something?
I was about to say Baker almost threw a touchdown, but listen, man, Pittsburgh, good year for not having a quarterback. You know, they're going to have to pull it together. I think they got the identity because their running backs, Warren and Najee, I think they'll be fine next year. Offensive line's getting better. They got to get a quarterback. They don't have one. So they thought they did, but they don't have one. So now, if you're going to get a free agent, I'm not sure. It's not going to be a rookie. So because it's not going to be a rookie. But yeah, I think and that's a perfect situation for a rookie because they like to run the ball. But the reality is I do see Pittsburgh not being in like the toilet for the next few years. They won't be there. They'll be okay. And it's just that Buffalo is a better team right now, and Josh Allen was the best player on the field today.
Gotcha. E, your thoughts on the Bills defeating the Steelers 31-17?
Well, I have to go ahead and apologize to the Buffalo Bills because I had them on Fraud Street because they put themselves on Fraud Street for so long. So I have to give it up for them. Like we say in these playoffs, whoever is the better team at running the ball is usually the one that's going to win. They don't turn the ball over as much, and that's exactly what happened. Buffalo basically had control of this game from beginning to end. So what else can you say, man? That's all I got, man. That's all I got. Yeah. Shout out to the Buffalo Bills.
Gotcha. D-Dub, your thoughts on the Bills?
No, I picked the Bills. Yeah, I picked the Bills, and I didn't think the Steelers has what it takes. Good team. They did a good job this year, even with the lack of a quarterback, and that's still a problem. It's going to be a problem that they're going to have to fix. And they'll be back because as long as they got Mike Tomlin, who's a hell of a coach, qualified coach, they'll be back, and he'll get the boys back ready. But they gotta They got to fix that situation at quarterback. And I don't know. They got to either scout really good and find that guy, or they're gonna have Tomlin's gonna have to take some L's so he could go into the lottery and get somebody, go into the draft.
Tampa Bay gonna win this game, just so y'all know.
Boy,
I already told y'all that.
See, boy, the Bucks. I said, boy, the Bucks are. I said the Eagles are in trouble already. It's 10-0. Jeez.
We told you.
What I saw was it was a hold just now on that touchdown run where the right tackle actually dragged the defensive end down and tackled him, and they didn't call it. And it was a touchdown. So when you see that,
it's at home cooking, baby.
Yeah, man.
Mike Mills, your thoughts on this Bills and Steelers?
I mean, everybody knew the Steelers couldn't keep up points-wise with Buffalo. I mean, they had a little momentum with that block field goal. They turned it around a little bit, but Buffalo only got 3, I think, on that first drive of the halftime, but it was a long drive, and they killed the clock, and they killed that momentum. That was it. Rudolph is not that guy. He's a career backup, game manager type. They thought Kenny Pickett was the guy. I told y'all, Kenny Pickett wasn't it. What D-Dubs loves to say, can he pick it?
Yes, he can.
So, yeah, Mike Tomlin, he's going to get you 10 wins anyway, just based off his name. But their O-line did start to come together towards the end of the season because they started running the ball like they should have been.
Right.
They put that heat under Najee Harris. I think he got nerves, started to feel it, started to come back to life. But they get a quarterback, they should be all right. I'm interested to see what Buffalo going to do against Kansas City.
Buffalo needs that game.
But I feel like Josh Allen be doing too much, and it's going to come back to haunt him when he play a team that pays attention.
I'm going to call him above average game manager.
Pressure.
He just needs to do his job. Period. If he does his job and don't get into a pissing contest with Mahomes, because that's what I think is the ego between him.
Whenever he play a top quarterback, he get like that.
Yeah. He did the same thing with boy from Cincinnati last year, man.
That's what I'm saying. He needs to not do that. Just play ball, man. And they'll be all right. And because Kansas City can be had, Buffalo can't get him.
Yeah.
This is Kansas City's most vulnerable. So if you want to get
him, absolutely.
That's what honestly, yeah. But
is that's a home game for Buffalo?
I believe so.
Yeah, they was the 2.
So Kansas City, I guess, during this Mahomes regime, I don't believe they've played a game outside of Arrowhead Stadium. I have to go back and check. I'm pretty sure, but this will be their first time, and we'll see. We'll see. E, did I get you? I'm sorry. I'm saying, I'm shook. I want you choking me out, son. What I'm saying?
Yo, I would just say this about Buffalo.
Go ahead.
As long as and I believe my man Mike in the comments said it. When Josh Allen plays under control, he's lethal. I just feel like when he gets erratic, there is nobody. It seems like there is nobody on that sideline that will grab him by the helmet and say, "Hey, we need you to play under control, because as you go, we go." Yes. So that will be telling going forward.
That 52-yard run that he had, that was a pretty neat run that he had, and also he didn't turn the ball over today. If you don't do that,
it says a lot, man. I'm telling you. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it is what it is, man. Hey, we will definitely recap the Philadelphia and Tampa game. It looks like Tampa's in front, and Philadelphia's lost season is about to be lost again. So it's 10-0 as I see. I don't know if they scored again, but hey,
the mighty NFC East. Boy,
everybody sitting on that couch, man. Like I said, Kev, you can't be hobbling into the playoffs and thinking that you're going.
The Eagles have lost 5 of
the switch. Go ahead.
Mike, we're not going to ban you. No, we're not. I think he told me one time I got banned on Twitter or something like that.
Damn.
But listen, man, again, thanks for all those that watched on Instagram, for our new followers on Instagram. Yes, this is the show. Make sure you check us out. Those on YouTube, thank you. Those in the comments, thank you so much. Those also on Facebook, Twitter, X. I don't think Mike, we didn't do Twitch today. Hey, we be on Twitch also. Make sure you get at us. Listen, we will get back at you on Thursday, 7:30 p.m. We will be talking basketball. We will have Ryan back on. Dan will be back with us talking hockey. Rangers have took a little spill, but we'll be talking about hockey. Dan will have hockey, and Mike will be talking about the NCAA basketball. We haven't talked about that a little bit, so Mike will give us about who's hot and who's not in these NCAA basketball streets. And we'll do that, man. So we don't do parting shots on the Monday show because it's supposed to be 4th and short, and we've been on here an hour and 5 minutes. So on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. Warren, your host and moderator, for Dorian the DA, for Mike Mills, for Daryl D-Dub, the Mad Hatter, Warren, for also James the Angry One, Warren, and for Mike Mills. I said Mike Mills, right? Yo, this is the Sports Chasers podcast. Be good. And also for Dan the Hockey Dude in his absence, man, this is the Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. Hey, we see you Thursday. Remember, Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, man. Y'all be good. Peace.
Peace.